For this tutorial, you're going to need medium or worsted weight yarn, a 6mm hook, and stitch markers if you're a beginner. We're starting with a chain of 58. Make sure not to make your chain too tight. For the seasoned crocheters, I prefer a regular chain over a foundation chain for this project. Since it's open topped, it needs to be a little bit more tight or snug at the top area. Once you have your chain of 58, you're going to straighten it out, and then you're going to slip stitch into the very first chain. This whole project is going to be worked with double crochets and chains. We're going to start off with a chain 2, and then we're going to make a double crochet into the same chain that we started our chain 2. For this first row, we're just going to place a double crochet into each chain all the way around until we finish the round. If you're a beginner, I recommend placing a stitch marker into the first stitch of every row. Once you finish the round, you're going to slip stitch into the top of the first double crochet. So ignore the first 2 chains and go into the top of the double. To start the next row, we're going to chain 2, turn our work, and then place a double crochet into the top of the last stitch we made, basically. And we're going to work our way around again for a total of 58 double crochets. Depending on your tension, that last stitch could be hard to find whenever you're trying to do your last double crochet. So if you're not using stitch markers, just make sure that you don't miss making 58 stitches. Rows 3 through 6 are basically a repeat of the last row. So start off with a chain 2, make sure to turn your work, and make 58 stitches each round. Row 7 is going to start off the same as the other rows. Chain 2, turn your work, and then we're going to place 22 double crochets. Once we have our 22 double crochets, we're going to loosely chain 16. And I don't mean like super loose, but just try not to make them too tight. We want the tension to match the stitches. We're going to skip 16 spaces, place a stitch marker in the 17th space if you need to remember where the spot is, and then we're going to place a double crochet. The rest of this row will be worked like normal. There should be 22 double crochets in total on this side. Row 8 starts off like normal, chain 2, turn your work, and then we're going to double crochet until we get to the chain that we made for the eye hole. We're going to double crochet into this chain. You can work it like normal if you would like, but for aesthetic purposes, I'm going to work into the back bumps. So basically, like you straighten out your chain and then turn it over, and there's going to be little bumps in the back of each chain, if that makes sense. I hope you can see what I'm trying to point out. But either way that you do it, just make sure that you do place 16 double crochets. If you're working into the back bump, the chain may seem a little twisted, but just make sure you count to make sure you're not missing that 16th stitch. And then the rest of this row is just going to be worked like normal. This is the end of row 8, and then rows 9 through 20 will be worked like normal. Start off with a chain 2, make sure you remember to turn your work, and then there should be 58 double crochets for each row. At the end of row 20, you're just going to fasten off, cut your yarn, and weave your ends, and you're all done. You finished your topless ski mask. This pattern is super customizable. You can make the eye holes bigger, smaller, add a mouth hole, make it one eye. You can add like decoration to the top, to the bottom, or just change up the colors and stuff. I really hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.